There are nights I remember so clearly. I'd be sitting alone in my room, the only light coming from the computer screen. I'd close the tab, the blue glow still shining on my face, and suddenly, it was gone. The rush, the distraction, the little escape I thought I was getting. And what was left behind? Just emptiness. Not guilt, not even shame. Just this hollow silence inside me. And I used to think I was the only one who felt that way. Like maybe there was something broken in me. But the truth is, a lot of us have been there. A lot of us were never really taught how to explore our sexuality in a healthy human way. We were only taught how to hide it. So porn stepped in and became the secret teacher. At first, it felt like relief, excitement, something forbidden but powerful. But over time, it stopped feeling real. It started to feel mechanical, like I was just going through motions. And the silence afterward grew louder than anything on the screen. That silence told me something important. I wasn't satisfied because what I was doing wasn't truly connecting me to myself. This isn't about demonizing porn or shaming anyone who watches it. For some, it's a tool. For others, letting go of it is part of a deeper journey. For me, it became about learning to be present again, to stop chasing quick dopamine hits, and to reconnect with what's real. When I looked deeper, I realized porn works the way it does because it directly taps into the brain's reward system. Every click, every new scene is like pressing the brain's novelty button. It floods your system with dopamine. But the more you use it, the more your brain adapts. The excitement fades. You start craving more intensity, more variety, just to feel something. And that craving makes real connection, touch, eye contact, intimacy, feel dull by comparison. When I tried to cut back, my brain fought back hard. It felt like urges came crashing in. I thought I was weak. But then I learned about something called dopamine recalibration. When you stop flooding your brain with instant stimulation, it takes time to adjust. Those intense cravings aren't weakness. They're the brain's way of healing, literally rewiring itself back to balance. At first, it was uncomfortable, but slowly I began to notice moments of clarity. I realized my body could feel desire again without a screen. My mind just needed space to catch up. One of the first things I tried was using my imagination. Honestly, at the start, it felt underwhelming. My mind wanted pictures, fast and easy. But when I gave myself time, I realized my brain didn't see imagination as less. In fact, research from the Kinsey Institute shows sexual fantasy activates many of the same brain regions as porn, but with a twist. It also lights up creativity, memory, and personal meaning. That changed everything for me. Imagination was private, flexible, mine, no edits, no scripts, no algorithms. Just me, rediscovering what actually turned me on my terms. Then I shifted my focus from what looked good to what felt good. Porn had trained me to be a spectator, to stare at exaggerated visuals. But real pleasure doesn't live in pixels. It lives in your senses. The warmth of your skin, the rhythm of your breath, the way your body changes when you stop watching and start listening. At first it was awkward. I felt like I was doing it wrong. But studies on mindful sexuality show that slowing down, tuning into sensations, touch, temperature, movement, can lead to deeper arousal and less pressure to perform. And when I let myself experience that, it felt alive again. But quitting cold turkey wasn't always smooth. Some days I slipped. Some days I went back. And that's when I learned something important. Change doesn't stick through shame. Research on behavioral habits shows self-compassion matters more than willpower alone. So instead of punishing myself, I started pausing and asking, why did I do it? What was I looking for? One night after I slipped, I sat down and wrote in my journal, I did this because I felt lonely. That single sentence gave me insight. I wasn't craving porn, I was craving connection. And the next time I felt that loneliness, I tried something different. Breathing, texting a friend, or just sitting with the feeling instead of running from it. If you're in a relationship, this process can be even more powerful. I remember the night I finally told Jenny I was trying to stop. I was terrified she'd think less of me, but she just held my hand and said, "Thank you for being honest." That moment changed everything. From then on, we started exploring intimacy together. Not through screens, but through touch, conversation, even shared fantasies. It was awkward at times, but it was real, and it built trust. And look, privacy isn't always easy. I used to live with family. I didn't always have my own space, but that didn't mean I was failing. I found small ways to reconnect. A mindful shower where I paid attention to the water on my skin, a few deep breaths before bed, even journaling what made me feel safe or desired. Those moments may sound small, but they mattered. They reminded me this journey wasn't about doing it perfectly. It was about learning to be present in whatever space I had. Over time, I started to see porn less as something I was losing and more as something I was letting go of, so I could give something back to my body, my breath, my mind. And that shift made all the difference. I want to be clear, this path isn't linear. Some days you'll feel strong, other days you'll stumble. That's okay. It doesn't mean you're broken, it means you're human. And every time you return to yourself, you're not going backward, you're building something deeper. For me, the biggest realization was this. What I was searching for was never in the screen. It was always in me, in my ability to feel, to connect, to be real with myself and with others. So I want to ask you, have you ever tried exploring your sexuality without porn? What felt awkward? What surprised you? Share in the comments. No shame, no judgment, just real stories from real people. And if this resonated with you, give it a like. Maybe share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe if you want to keep walking this path with me. And let me know, would you want a playful, low-pressure quiz about masturbation habits? Something that helps you reflect without taking it too seriously? If that sounds interesting, drop a comment. I'm listening. Until next time, be kind to your mind, gentle with your body, and curious with your desire.